Chris is arguably, I would say, probably one of my first friends here in Ocala. And I say that from the space of when I first retired from the service, came to Ocala. One of mine and Erica's first priorities was to find a church family, right? Find a space that we could worship and we could get to know people that would want to help us acclimate to this new world post-military life, right? And the pastor at the time said, hey, there's this men's group that has some other veterans in it, and maybe you should go to that men's group. And so I started doing that men's group every once in a while. What was it, weekly, right? And after a couple months, the pastor says, hey, man, why don't you try to take would you be interested in taking over this men's group? I was like, oh, man. Sure, right? I mean, I want to serve. I'm here to serve. And so I took on this men's group. And Chris came into the men's group right around that time, if I remember. It was either right before I took it over or right after I took it over, whatever it was. But there was a significant period of time after that it was once a week. Chris and I would meet in this men's group, and there may be other people there that may not be. It may just be 3 of us, right? Maybe only be 2 or 3 of us, but we would sit and we would talk about, biblical stuff. We would talk about religious views. I found out from Chris about his background as a veteran, so we're going to share that here in a minute. And for a long time, we just spoke about things that we both, I think, really were interested in, and there was definitely a connection there. And then from that day forward, we've always just kind of stayed in touch. Eventually, I transitioned out of that men's group because that season passed, right? It was time to let it go, do something else. But we stayed connected. And now here I am going into this world of virtually sharing messages and ideas. And Chris was one of the first people I got a hold of to talk to about, hey, man, if you're available every other week, I would love to get you on there to not only hear your perspectives on things, but to get the chance to, have camaraderie and to just have that conversation. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Cahill from Ocala, Florida. Chris, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing excellent, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on here. And I've been watching your journey since those times, obviously up until now, watching your podcasts and stuff. I see them on Facebook and Instagram or wherever they pop up. And I think it's cool what you're doing. And I really love what you do both with the entrepreneurs and with the kids, because you're pouring into that next generation too. And that kind of warms my heart, man. So I love what you're doing.